Hey guys, it's Zang, and today I'm going to be sharing 3 super simple recipes that'll get you through dreary January. Each of these are delicious, super easy, and I'm going to give you variations on how you can change them up. So the first one I'm going to make is a chocolate, maybe peanut butter, overnight oats. So first I'm gonna add chia seeds, give yourself some extra fiber and fatty acids. Then we have cocoa powder, make it nice and chocolatey. And then I like to add a pinch of cinnamon just to bring out the flavors of everything. And now some maple syrup for extra sweetness. You can sub with honey or sugar. And then for my overnight oats, I always love to add yogurt, just because I feel like it makes it creamy. If I were to leave it out, I tend to not like overnight oats. Like if that's your thing and you don't like it, try adding some yogurt because it really changes the consistency. And as a rule of thumb, the milk, the oats, and the yogurt are always the same ratio. So the full ingredient list and recipe is going to be written out in the description box below. And now before adding in the milk and the oats, I like to whisk it up because it tends to break down the cocoa powder and not make it super clumpy. And if you were to let this sit, you get chocolate chia pudding. Okay, but we're not done yet. I'm gonna add my milk and the oats. I'm using rolled oats here. It doesn't get as mushy, but if you were in a time crunch and you wanted it to soak faster, go ahead and use quick oats. But I like using rolled oats if I'm gonna stick it in overnight. Final mix, just making sure everything is submerged in that yummy chocolate yogurt. And then of course you can always just wrap it up, put it in the fridge, let it sit overnight to become overnight oats, or you can transfer it into portable jars like this if you want it to be an easy grab and go the next morning for work or for school. And this makes enough for 2 servings. So our overnight oats are done, thickened up nicely. This is what it looks like. Nice and thick. Look, see? So yummy. I have my toppings bar out. I'm gonna add a little bit of peanut butter for that extra protein and healthy fats. I like using the natural creamy peanut butter. We'll add a little bit of shredded coconut and some sliced strawberries. So this is how I'm dressing up my overnight oats today, but for the chocolate base, you can always add different variations like blueberry with sliced almonds, chocolate chip with sliced bananas. I don't know, what are some other combinations you guys like with chocolate? Just imagine it as like a chocolatey blank slate, and you can really add whatever you want as a topping. But let's give it a try. Just make sure you stir in the peanut butter or else you get like a glob right in your mouth, which is what happened to me, but it's still really good. This version tastes like a chocolate peanut butter cup with some strawberries on top, and it's just really satisfying for a yummy, easy, healthy breakfast. Okay, let's move on to lunch. The next one is like a rice bowl in a roll. You guys will see what I'm talking about, but I'm just using last night's leftover chicken to wrap it up in some nori and rice. First, I'm gonna start by making my sauce. I've decided to go with like a miso mayo sauce, but really you can use like gochujang, you can use whatever kind of dressing you have available. In my little bowl, I'm gonna add some soy sauce, a little bit of ginger, rice vinegar, sugar, miso. So for my miso today, I'm using red miso because it's a lot more punchy and has that like fermented taste. Miso is fermented soybeans. You can find like white, which is really mild, yellow, which is also really mild, or red, which has a lot of kick to it. So that's what I'm using. And some mayo. If you guys wanted it spicy, you can add some sriracha in here too. But now I'm just gonna mix it all up. Maybe a whisk is better for this job. All right, so think of this rice bowl in a roll, somewhere in between like a sushi, burrito, I don't know what else is in a roll. But basically I'm gonna add a lot of veggies in there. I'm using 2 types of cabbage. I like using the Savoy cabbage, which is like Napa cabbage, and then just purple cabbage for extra color. We're just gonna cut it into really, really small, thin slices. Take a chunk like this first. I just thought of it. It's kind of like a spring roll too, because we're packing in like all these veggies that I would use in a spring roll. And then I like adding some carrots. You guys could use whatever vegetables you have on hand. It doesn't have to be any of these even. You can just add like spinach, red bell peppers, cucumbers, anything's great. For this carrot, I'm using a mandolin, which is like one of my favorite kitchen tools. But you just have to be really careful when using it because it's really sharp. I have some cilantro too, but all of this can be made ahead and then you can use these for like stir fries during the week if you don't like this recipe, but I guarantee you, you will. And now for the protein. I always have just like roasted chicken breast or chicken available, but you can use last night's leftovers if you wanted to. Salmon, tuna, tofu, anything goes with this recipe. I'm gonna take off the skin and I'm just gonna cut it and then shred it. Now let's assemble. My assembly line is here. I'm gonna start with some seaweed. You can find this at any grocery stores nowadays, but it looks like this. Shiny side goes at the bottom, and then we add some rice. Do you guys remember last year's TikTok trick where it's like you cut it into 4? I never got on board with that, but I really like just rolling like rice and seaweed. I think that's way more fun. Wet fingers is easier to spread it out in my opinion. Flatten the rice and now I like to drench it with the sauce. Add my chicken. I find that it's easier to eat when it's like shredded up into these little pieces. That way you're not like left with like a giant bite. Now I'm just gonna layer the vegetables, kind of working up the rice. A line, leaving room at the top. Looks pretty healthy and colorful. Some cilantro in the middle. A little more sauce for good measure on the chicken. And let's roll her up. It's not meant to be one of those like dainty rolls. It's meant to be like a burrito. Ta-da! It's probably easier to cut it up. Obviously, this is just another fun way to eat like a rice bowl, but it's everything packed into one little package. Let's give it a try. That sauce just, it's so flavorful. This would make such an excellent like portable snack as well, or portable lunch. And it reminds me of the snacks that I had in Hawaii. It's kind of like a musubi, except with not Spam. So what's a meal without pasta? Of course I have to add pasta to keep you guys going through January, right? We're gonna be making a creamy sausage baby Bella pasta. Of course, this one comes together really fast and is super flavorful. All right, so first I'm gonna turn the heat on to medium high, and then drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Once it's nice and hot, I'm gonna add 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. This is gonna be nice and garlicky. Cook it for about a minute, let it get really fragrant, and then I'm gonna add in my bulk Italian sausage. You can usually buy it in bulk in the case, or it comes in like the sausages, you know, like the links. I'm gonna brown it, crumble it until it's nice and cooked through. Then I'm gonna add in about a cup of sliced mushrooms. I'm using baby Bellas here, or you can use portobello, which is also really meaty and delicious. Cook that up for a minute, and then we're gonna deglaze the pan with some chicken broth. Scrape off the yummy bits at the bottom because that's all of the flavor. So now I'm gonna add the creamy part, which I'm gonna be using mascarpone cheese. It's just like a mild, spreadable cheese that you typically use for tiramisu, except today we're gonna use it for pasta. If you wanted to, you could also use cream cheese for this, which would definitely work too. Let it melt. Once it's barely melting, I'm gonna add the pasta I've already cooked to al dente. There's still a little bit of firmness in it, but we're gonna finish cooking it in the sauce so it really absorbs all the flavor. Add some Parmesan cheese, parsley, and just give it a mix. Now, if it doesn't look like there's enough creaminess or liquid in there, go ahead and use some of your pasta water. I've reserved a little bit after cooking my pasta. It just is like insurance. But I'm gonna add like a 1/4 cup. I'll cover it up for about 2 minutes, let it kind of do its thing, reheat, and then we'll finish adding the rest. Halfway through, just kind of check on it. Give it a stir if you need to. It's gonna thicken up on its own, so I'm just gonna give it another minute. It looks creamy. This is perfect to me. Okay, we're not done yet. I've turned off the heat. We're gonna add a little bit more Parmesan. And then this might seem really unusual, but I'm gonna be adding arugula. It has like a nice peppery bite to it, and it just brings a little bit more green into the whole dish. Of course, if you don't like arugula, you can add spinach or kale, whatever you like. But make sure that the heat is off first so that you don't completely just wilt it. I'm just gonna try this right out of the pan. Get everything in there. I just love how flavorful everything is. My favorite meat in pasta is probably Italian sausage, but paired with the mushroom because we cooked them together. The mushroom just soaked in all the flavors, and then cooking it together at the end just really helped the pasta absorb the savoriness, and it just balances out really well. The arugula is just an added bonus. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I put on the menu this week. Tell me what you guys want to order or see on the next recipe video in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more easy, healthy recipes for the new year. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!